Hey, good afternoon. Again, my name is Shane Sutton. I'm with Laser Techniques Incorporated. Thank you for taking the time today to come in a little early and visit with me. I think what I have here might be able to help you out a little bit. So who is Laser Techniques Inc.? Well, we're a local Northwest company, and we offer cutting-edge solutions to the industry that built America. Laser Techniques supplies cutting-edge forestry measurement tools that will improve production and accuracy. Faster measurement means higher production. Cutting-edge technology improves measurement accuracy and precision in the woods. Combine these two elements, you can save some money. So who are we? Laser Techniques has been in business since 2004, and it was formed through a partnership created by putting together some technology experts and some good old-fashioned dirt foresters. I'm one of the dirt foresters. So the technology experts come across the industry boundaries to fill a niche in a long-term industry, an industry we like to refer to as the industry that built America, the timber industry. That's you guys. So, two foresters, myself and my partner Steve, we worked in the woods together for over 20 years, combined for over 40 years of experience. So we know what you guys are going through out there. We know what some of your challenges are, and we're here to help. In the end, the results are a revolutionary product that is easy to use and affordable, and we think will translate to saving you guys some money. So what are some of the daily challenges a timber cruiser faces? Well, first of all, we know you're out there in all the elements. You're out there in the wind, the rain, the snow, the fog. You have deadlines. You have to get things done. So what are some of the other challenges that come along with that? We've been there. We know. Equipment limitations. You can break your tape. Your equipment can get fogged up. You know, all this equipment we're dealing with is old school technology, and it works great, but you got to really take care of it, and it can limit production. You know, some other challenges out there. You have some safety issues as well. You're on steep terrain, adverse conditions. You want the best equipment you can possibly have. Why wouldn't you? That's where Laser Techniques Inc. comes into play. We have the solution. Today we're here to talk about the TruePulse 200 series laser rangefinder. This tool makes common forestry measurements a snap. You use one single tool for measuring distances, slopes, tree heights, and more. So some of the advantages: more accurate. We're measuring distances down to 1/10 of an inch, and we're measuring heights down to 1/10 of a foot. So when you use this tool, you're going to replace multiple tools in your vest. If you're like me, you don't want to pack any more tools out there than you absolutely have to. You know, you're walking up and down the hills, climbing from the bottom of the canyon to the top of the ridge multiple times a day, and why have all those extra bulky tools with you? This thing weighs like 1.2 pounds, so it's lightweight, it's dependable, it's waterproof, and competitively priced. So what are some of the alternatives you have for taking your forestry measurements? First, you have the traditional rotoscope. It's a great tool. I own 2 of them myself, and I'll never get rid of them. But I think they belong on the mantle rather than in my vest anymore. This technology is 100 years old. Currently, you can go buy them. They're long-lasting, very true, very dependable. You're going to pay about $1,500 for them. And then what do you get? In the end, you have an instrument that's prone to fog on the inside, fog on the outside, low light visibility. You have all kinds of issues. I've used these myself. Actually, the reason I have 2 of them, and I think some of you guys will understand this, is on a rainy day, a foggy day, you're out there in the brush. These things collect moisture, and they will fog up on you after a few hours. So if you're like me, you always carry a second one in a plastic baggie, and then sometime whenever you can't stand it anymore, you make the switch. And when the second one fogs up on you, well, you're done for the day. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you're ready to go home. But if you're on a deadline, you might not be ready for that yet. Another alternative you could use is just go with the old school prism. Nothing wrong with the prisms. 200-year-old methodology. Problem is, no slope correction. You're not taking distances with them. So we're really talking about 2 totally different fields. Third and final option, the option I brought you here today, TruePulse 200 laser rangefinder. as we talked about, durable, dependable, accurate, and precise, Bluetooth capable, relatively inexpensive, $799 as compared to $1,500 for the old school technology. So here's 3 of my clients right here, and each one of them have experience with the TruPulse 200B. And here's some statements. Clayton Jones of Northwest Forestry Expert says, after 20 years of working with traditional equipment, I made the change to the TruPulse 200. This was the best money I've ever spent on the work equipment. I've worked with Clayton, matter of fact, years and years ago. We both started together, and I really value his opinion. I think some of you guys might know Clayton as well. Frank Carpenter of Carpenter Forest Management says, no more weather days or costly equipment failures. Since we upgraded to Laser Techniques TruPulse 200, our production has increased by 17%. So Carpenter Forest Management, they employ 6-7 timber cruisers on a regular basis, and as you can see in the screenshot here, they're using these pieces of equipment for more than just measuring trees. I mean, they're actually doing surveys with them as well. And he told me that they would send guys out, and on a regular basis they were leaving and coming in after 5 to 6 hours during the winter, just because of fogging issues and things like that we talked about before. So no more of that for Frank. So the third testimonial here I'd like to share is from a friend of mine, Jeff Williams of Mid-Willamette Lumber. He told me it's about time somebody brought this industry into the 21st century. The precision that comes with the TruPulse 200 has given us better cutouts and more dependability in log availability planning. So they're using these tools to help estimate the log flow that they have to keep their mills going. And as we all know, I don't have to tell you guys, you shut a mill down even for a few minutes because you ran out of logs, it's very, very costly. You have a crew of 30 to 40 people there, you're still paying everybody's wages. So that's one of the ways they're incorporating this tool. So before I came today, I went out and I grabbed my laser rangefinder off of my vest and brought it in. And I'd like to offer it to anybody if you guys want to pass it around, go out and shoot some distances in the hall and just see how it works. I think what you're going to find is it's very intuitive, very easy to work with, and after 5 or 10 minutes it becomes kind of second nature. So now that we've had a few minutes to look at this, anybody have any questions? So one of the most common questions I get is regarding durability. So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. This unit is actually built to military specs, and so they use this same type of equipment, a little higher accuracy, a little different specifications, but they use it as in military grade, and so they're out there using these on the front lines. They've proven to be highly durable, highly dependable, and they all come with a 1-year full bumper-to-bumper warranty. So you drop this thing in a creek, send it back to us, we'll make it right. You drop it on the pavement, send it back to us, we're going to fix it up for you. One of the things we look at whenever we're selling these things is we want more partners out there testing these, helping us figure out how to make them even better. And that's another great question. So lifespan on these things, I'm on my second one. My first one I used as a production forester on a daily basis, and it actually still works. I just use it as a backup unit. I send it in after 2 years, and it was still in pretty good shape, but the little button you can see on the top there, that was starting to wear off, and I was afraid it was going to leak, and so I sent that in. But to answer your question, a production forester should get over 2 years out of these things. And then here's the thing, when you send it back in, a complete rebuild, which includes new lenses, top, bottom, front, and back, and the new button on the top, we make sure it's all resealed. The whole thing right now is running about $79, including shipping. So here's my challenge for you. I know you have a crew of 12, and here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to leave 4 of these with you today. That's how confident I am that you're going to like these. So I'm going to leave 4 of them with you, and take them out in the woods, give them a test, and if I don't hear from you in about 4 or 5 days, I'm just going to send the invoice over. That's how confident I am that you're going to like this equipment. Sound good? Hey, that sounds great. So I'll tell you what we should do is take those, use them for the week, and why don't I swing back early next week sometime? We can just further discuss this, decide how many more of these you're going to want, and at that time I'd be willing also to go in the woods with you or a couple of your guys, and we can look at these in detail, look at a couple of the specialty features, and decide how many more you're going to want. How does that sound?